Welcome everyone, and welcome back anybody that is new. Thank you so much for spending some of your time here with me on this new video of mine. If you would be so kind as to like, subscribe, comment if you like on the video as well. This is actually going to be a little bit different from the previous months. I am going to try to share with you this month books as I am finishing them up, so that I can give you just a little bit more information than I usually do on a wrap up at the end of the month. Because if you are a reader like me that read, several books through the month, you will realize that you tend to forget about some of them by the end of the month, the ones that you've read at the first part of the month. And so my wrap-ups tend to be, kind of short and sweet as far as giving you any pertinent detail. So I'm going to see how this goes a little bit better for the flow, at least for this month, and we'll work from there. So I won't really do a monthly wrap-up for the month of November, because I'm going to have little short videos throughout this month of books that I have been reading, and once I finish, a few of them, then I'm going to just share with you. So far, this is actually November the 3rd. I have completed some of the books that I already had kind of been started at the end of October, and now I have finished those books, and it's about 3. And so I'm going to share with you a little bit. So the first one is Beautiful Broken Love, okay, by Miss Shanora Williams. And like I said, was reading this already at the end of October, and I was able to finish it up like the first day of November to make it on this month. So this is as it states, a beautiful broken love story. This entails what's her name? Davina is the main female character, and what is it? Zeke, or not Zeke, but the Zeke is the dog's name. Deke, D-E-K-E. So anyways, Davina is a small business owner that has basically cracked into the world of lotions and shea butters and things like that. And Zeke is a major basketball player that basically ends up using one of her lotions that she's created, one of her shea butters or whatever that she's created, and it catapults her business from him using it. Okay. And so that's kind of how they end up meeting, or because his use makes her product shoot up in sales. And so then they have to they end up establishing a meeting and going into business together. But their first initial meeting, he is just taken with her. But unbeknownst to him, she has some things that have happened tragically in her life up to this point. And I won't give that spoiler part away, but I'll tell you, you do probably want to check your check your trigger warnings, because it is, a lot of tragedy there. And so anyways, he is smitten with her. He really wants to pursue her because he likes her. But she is not quite there. She's not on that page because she has had some tragedy, and she's not in that mind space to deal with him. But of course, this is a love story. You know how love stories go. It happens. They end up pursuing it. I won't go into any more details about it, but I will tell you that it was a very good love story. It has some spice for sure. Because Miss Shanora Williams, her love stories do have spice, but it's appropriately placed. It's not an overkill. It is where it needs to be. And I enjoyed the read. It left off, basically like it should have. It brought their story to a beautiful close. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the book. It is a very good choice to pick up if you are looking for a sweet, but also in depth, has some good depth in it, love story. I would definitely say try this Beautiful Broken Love Story by Shanora Williams. And I think I rated it a 5-star. I felt like it deserved that. The storyline was good, and it kept me intrigued, kept me wanting to read it, to finish it up. I think I devoured it in about maybe 3 or 4 days. But there again, I am a romance girly. I love romance books, and especially ones that have a very good detailed love story to follow. And anyways, so moving right along, the next one I read was totally different from me. This was one of my cozy reads for October. It's called Arsenic and the Adobe. I'm sorry, I'm having to read it from my iPad, which is by Mia Manansala. This is the first mystery book of the series. It is a series, and it is cozy for sure. It's a whodunit, and the way, I'll say this off the top. I like cozy stories. I really, really do. But I had to pay attention, more to this one, and I still missed some of the details, and it's probably because I just was getting a little lost in what was going on. It just, for me, it didn't capture me the way that I want my cozy mysteries to capture me. If you have read Sabby, I think it's called Sabby Summers and Sweet Potato Crimes, that one I read a few months ago, and that was a cozy mystery. Absolutely loved it. That's my vibe for cozy mysteries. This one, it was okay, but I don't really want to read the second one or the third or whatever. It's not nothing that I just like, oh, I want to pick this up. I'm not feeling that way about this one. And that's just my honest opinion. I mean, it was a whodunit. It definitely kept you guessing somewhat, but it just was, it was a little, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the best words to describe it, but it just, it didn't capture me. Okay, the way that I like my stories to capture me. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't like to, talk about people's writing like that, because I think that they do a wonderful job to put their work out there, and I enjoy the fact that we have so many diverse writers and authors that we can read in so many different facets. And I'm not saying she's a bad writer. She's just fine, and I would probably read something from her again. Maybe a different story, a different cozy mystery may capture me differently. I don't know. It just, or maybe it was just not the right timing for it for me. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm gonna leave it at that. Read when you want to. If you want a cozy mystery, this is classified as a cozy mystery. There is no spice. You don't have to worry about that. It's totally innocent in that aspect. And it is different. It was a different read, and that's what I wanted. I did want something different to challenge me. Okay, and so back to the romance. I read also Unforgettable, and this is by Delaney Diamond. Brand new author to me. Found out that she writes a lot of, or has written a lot of books, and I just kind of came across her, and I wanted to read something from her because, for one, she's been writing for a while, and I had never heard of her, and I want to try to expand to read other authors, not always reading the same authors all the time, because there is so many good authors out there. Want to feel like I'm, broaden my reading by enjoying others. So Unforgettable is the first in the series. This story, I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 3.5 stars. So it wasn't like the top of the line for me. It did have some spice, but it was minute. It wasn't too much at all. It was, very little, and you could definitely skip it. But I thought that she did a great job with this story. Basically, it grabs you in the first chapter. So it definitely pulls you into the storyline from the first chapter. So that is, you know, one of the things that I was like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and, you know, dive into this. But this guy, the main male character, I think his name is Lucas. I'm forgive me if I'm saying these names wrong, but I think his name is Lucas. Lucas and Ivy is their story, and basically, years ago they had a relationship, and and this is like fast forward to now. They end up meeting each other again, running into each other again. And this is like 8 years later after they, you know, had a relationship. And I don't want to tell you all the details, but I'll tell you that from their previous encounter when they were together in the relationship, there was a fake pregnancy that happened. And now we have 8 years forward where there is a daughter. Ivy has a daughter, and Lucas finds out that this is his child. Okay, so and that is in the synopsis. This is not giving you really any spoilers, but it carries a story from there basically. And it was very good I thought it was very interesting how she put it all together. It definitely gave me the vibe of I'm trying to think of, but I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say that the book was a good storyline. It did keep me intrigued. You followed them basically trying to balance a relationship with the daughter, and him now finding out that he is her father, and not really understanding, you know, what happened, why she didn't, you know, come and let him know about it, and basically also kind of just balancing the relationship between Ivy, the mother, and the father, like what happened between them back years ago and what's happening between them now. And he was someone that, you know, didn't want kids, and really didn't even really want a relationship back then or now, because he was, you know, just kind of clued into his own thing, doing his own career, you know, advancing all of that. And so, anywho, the book was good, and I definitely want to read the next in the series. And she has another series that I was looking at that sounds good, and I want to dive into it. So Delaney Diamond, that is the author, and I had never heard of her, and that's what I'm kind of on a mission for right now, is picking up authors' books that I've not heard of, that, you know, we don't normally hear people talk about, because who wants to come on here and always see the same authors, the same books? I feel like you're not coming to my channel to hear me talk about authors that you already know about. Maybe you want someone that you haven't heard about, because I know that's what I feel like. I don't want to see and hear about the same stories, because you can get that from a gazillion other people. So anyways, my little channel, you can find out some new ones and somebody that you hadn't heard about. So anyways, as you know, I always have the books up here so you can see them clearly and see who the author and what the book is I'm talking about. And I will be back on another one with some more details about some more books that I am finishing up for this month. And I'm going to try it out this way and see, you know, maybe if this is a little bit cooler for me doing these little short videos to tell you a little bit about the books that I'm reading, and when I finish them, to give you just a little bit more detail. Not too much, because I don't like to give you spoilers. Hopefully you like this one. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things. And I do certainly appreciate your time spending with me on this one. See you on the next one.